Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Allflex Livestock Intelligence, providing monitoring solutions for dairies worldwide. Allflex helps you connect the dots to make complex decisions. From reproduction to health and nutrition, bring it all together with Allflex.
It's farms and big cities. It's freedom and opportunity. It's connections between cows, coffee shops, and restaurants. It's providing the world with the best milk and dairy products raised in sustainable ways. And none of this would be possible without U.S. registered Holsteins, the world's perfect cow, and the people who raise them. This is Holstein America. Hi, I'm Michelle Davidson. About 150 million Americans every day enjoy an espresso, cappuccino, latte, or iced coffee. And all of these are made better with milk and cream. In this episode, we feature dairies that make this possible. And all of them are proud to raise the iconic black and white Holstein cow. In particular, we'll also share the story of Rolling Lawns Farm, an Illinois dairy that traces its registered Holsteins' roots back more than a century. And we'll see how Holsteins are helping the farm forge its path to the future. Holstein America's Bob Cervera shares the story.
Michael Turley.
Hi, Bob.
It is nice to meet you.
Well, it's great to have you. Welcome to Rolling Lawns Farm.
Thanks so much. I've heard so many good things about your farm here, and I'm looking forward to taking a tour. It's a wonderful day to do that.
Well, we're blessed to have been here 112 years. Wow. And hope to keep the story going. And it all goes back to the Holstein cow, so let me go introduce you to a few.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Michael, the farm has been in the family for more than 100 years. You had a successful career in advertising, and then you came back to farming. Why?
I was blessed to have a great career. It was all marketing focused, and I spent a lot of time focused on consumers, learning about their preferences and tendencies and demands. But my heart was always back here at the farm. My identity is based here, and it's when I kind of meshed those two experiences, life experiences, that the vision started to come together for what we could do here at Rolling Lawns to keep the story going.
Mm-hmm. And what have you learned since you've been back?
Consumers are fans of what we do, and if you present to them our story in the proper manner, then they're eager to learn more. And there is no better centerpiece or star of the show than the registered Holstein cow for the story we're telling here.
Michael, thanks so much for the tour. And the biggest lesson here really is how registered Holsteins help farms like Michael's connect with consumers. Here's more about Rolling Lawns Farm.
Rolling Lawns Farm is in southern Illinois, approximately 45 minutes east of the Mississippi River and the major metropolitan area of St. Louis, Missouri. That's where it was settled years ago, and my dad named the farm Rolling Lawns when he was walking back from school, which was a one-room schoolhouse in the pasture just west of our farm. And as he was walking back, it just kind of came to him one day. He was looking for a great prefix to put in front of all of our registered names, and he came up with Rolling Lawns in 1952, and we've stuck with it ever since. We're a 110-year-old startup, farmed the traditional way for over a century, and trying to maintain viability in a fast-changing industry and world. The first thing you have to do is figure out how to create value and stay small, in our case. One of the gaps in the marketplace in St. Louis was a local source of dairy for the high-end restaurants and coffee shops. We interviewed some of those people to find out what they were interested in buying from a local dairy producer. Heavy cream was the first thing they mentioned. When you go to a grocery store and you ask them what sells, they'll tell you chocolate milk. And so those are the two anchor products that we focused on. And then naturally, whole milk was the third product that volume-wise is our biggest seller, and coffee shops use an insane amount of whole milk. And so we've matched up really well with that food service market in the greater St. Louis area, and that's the underpinnings of our marketplace. In the greater St. Louis area, that's about 3 million people, the value gap was in fluid. It wasn't cheese, it wasn't yogurt, It was not in other hard products, it was in fluid. So we built a grade A plant so we could fill those needs. Whole milk, heavy cream, half and half, and then flavored milks, chocolate, orange cream, cappuccino, and strawberry for now. And that was our initial offering and has been a great foundation. It also was the best way for us to get the most connection with the marketplace. From that then, as we build the brand, we've been able to think about line extensions. And for us, a natural line extension is ice cream. We make an ice cream base for some popular ice cream shops in St. Louis, and with always the plan of having our own ice cream shop here at our place called the Milk House in Greenville. We launched ice cream Memorial Day weekend in 2021, and we're off and running with that and getting great reception. As a dairy farm, one of the big decisions we had to make was to leave commodity marketing and focus on consumer marketing. And when we work directly with consumers, we're looking for marketable assets that they want to connect with. And there is no more marketable asset than the registered Holstein cow. The iconic black and white Holstein is in vogue and has been for years, has been for decades with consumers. And we all work with them every day, and they have a certain value to us, but oftentimes we just forget or don't recognize that consumers really love the cows too. It's just in a much different way. We were looking for a way to depict that and create a way for them to engage with our cows. And everybody's got pedigrees if you're a breeder, and they go back a long ways, a lot of generations, and ours are no different. So a simple way that we engage with people is through something that they understand, which is ancestry and pedigrees. And so we took one of the long-standing cow families that we have at Rolling Lawns with that prefix and trace the family back to its origin. And because there's such an amazing archive in Brattleboro, we were able to trace that back to the heifer that came over on the boat in 1883, and we put that generation and the 40 additional generations up on a wall down here, down the hallway. And so we just did ancestry.com for cows. It's the funniest things that we just kind of look past or take for granted that consumers are really interested in. We've got 111 years of equity in the registered Holstein cow. It's the only animal that's ever been bred on our farm through 4 generations. And it's the only one, with all due respect to some other breeds, it's the only one that's going to be bred on our farm. She's iconic. She's known worldwide for her production potential. Her longevity is unmatched, and those are the things we need to make our farm viable for the next 100 years. Well, welcome to the Milk House, Bob. This is the site of our grade A fluid processing facility.
I just love your story, Michael, and we're at the center of your vision to connect your farm with consumers, the Rolling Lawns Farm, the Milk House. And there's a lot of talk today about sustainably raised food. Talk about how sustainability is so important connecting the farm to consumers.
The best way we know how to tell the sustainability story is to really make it totally transparent from the farm all the way through the food processing event that occurs here with our fluid bottling plant, and then being able to celebrate that with great products for consumers.
And you mean transparent in a literal sense, because we can actually see the bottling happening behind us. But even beyond that, the registration paper is very important, isn't it?
The star of the show is the Holstein cow here at Rolling Lawns. There's absolutely nothing else that rivals the importance of her as we tell this story because of the registration papers, the purebred history of our farm. It's 112 years running now, and it's the chronological timeline that we count on as we continue to tell the story of the Turley family and our farm.
It sure makes a difference in quality and taste. And talk about the products you do sell here at your Milk House.
We're grade A, so we're not the first to do bottling, and there's a lot of great Holstein breeders out there that are bottling milk. Yeah. That's what we're doing here. And so the staples that you would find, we all have in our refrigerators at home: white milk, half and half, heavy cream. you got to do a great chocolate milk. And to make it more interesting, some flavors that make it fun for the consumer. Orange cream, strawberry, cappuccino, and a few others we're working on right now and hope to launch this year.
For me, it's the ice cream.
We started ice cream last summer, and it was a hit, and it's an enjoyable product, and it makes for a great conversation piece as we talk about the Holstein cow.
You mentioned that you're not the only grade A house, but Rolling Lawns Farm is one of thousands of dairies with a great story to tell, like this one.
I was born and raised on our farm, and my father and mother came from the Netherlands and actually started in Alabama. And after being there 5 years, they had an opportunity to come to California. So it was definitely a struggle, and it was my mom and my dad doing everything. And they grew and they got better, and the whole idea for him all his life was to have good cows, because he started with the cows that nobody wanted. So he saw immediately that genetics was the way that doing the same amount of work, he could get more money out of it. We have 3 dairies, and we milk 2,400 cows. We're at the back of our ranch in Lodi, California, and we're along the river, and this is kind of a unique area. We are what they call the beginning of the Delta, and it's kind of like the Florida Everglades. It's got waterways all through, and we are in ground zero of where water comes to the center of California. The plus is we have water, and we have in the Delta area, there is never going to be a development of housing, so there's going to be a lot of open ground. This is where we raise all our feed for the dairy. We farm about 170 acres of grapes, and then somewhere in the area of 2,000 acres of land where we grow our winter forage and alfalfa and corn, and that's all basically for the dairy. I always say if you take care of the cow, she'll take care of you. And that's that's kind of our motto at the farm. We're basically a commercial herd and that love registered cattle or love a good cow more than anything. So the cows are doing very well. The Holstein cow for me has been very profitable. Some of it is this breed is so much more dominant now because of the ability to get cows to give large amounts of milk with a high butterfat content. And I really think that that's what makes these cows so profitable. We classify, and I think that's an important tool for finding out where you're going with your herd as far as type. And we have the ability to get all the information and formulate a lot of our own decisions through the Holstein Association. Our end product goes to a consumer. So our whole goal is to give a wholesome product that can be consumed by everyone, and we can make it that way. For me, the biggest thing is now the Holstein cow has transformed into the best converter of feed to milk of any of the breeds. And the ability, the diverse ability of the genetics that you can use compared to any breed. There's so many more sires, so many more maternal lines that you can choose from. You can do so much more quickly with a Holstein cow.
When we return, it's St. Louis, home of the Blues, the Cardinals, and the Gateway Arch, where we visit a coffee shop sharing the story of registered Holsteins.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
What if you could predict her genetic potential right from the start? With genomic testing, you can. Holstein Association USA offers a variety of genetic testing options, including clarified genomic tests. Add them to your package of genetic tools, from registration and tags to classification, mating, and genomic testing. Holstein Association USA has your herd covered. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us today.
Do you need better control over your barn environment? Talk to the curtain professionals at Shady Lane Curtains. Our patented Clearview curtains feature clear PVC windows, allowing more light in your barn. Curtains are custom made for your barn with complete hardware. We also offer installation service in the Northeast region. Learn more at ShadyLaneCurtains.com or call 1-800-270-2983.
Have you heard? You can purchase Holstein semen directly from breeders through Holstein Marketplace Sires. Featuring member farmers like you, Holstein Marketplace Sires is your destination for purchasing or marketing elite registered Holstein genetics. Solid production, deep pedigrees, high type. The bulls you've been looking for are at Holstein Marketplace Sires. Purchasing is easy. Order online or over the phone, and semen will be shipped directly to you. Holstein Marketplace Sires. Bulls by breeders for breeders.
Holstein America is brought to you by our friends at Merck Animal Health, the makers of Nasal Gin and a leading provider of dairy care solutions. Visit mahcattle.com for support, tips, and products to provide your herd the best possible care.
Welcome back. The coffee shop is a cornerstone for most communities, and every cup of coffee is made better with dairy. Fiddlehead Fern Cafe in St. Louis has built its success by making a direct connection to farms, and especially registered Holsteins.
Hi, Darcy.
Hi, Michael.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I'd like you to meet Bob Cervera.
Bob, nice to meet you.
Hi, Darcy. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much. Come on over. Let's have a cup of coffee.
Okay. Darcy, the smell in here is wonderful. I love it. Tell me about your business.
Thank you. Fiddlehead opened about 4 years ago, and I am from the neighborhood we're in, Shaw, and we opened with the whole idea of community. So we hope to bring a sense of community within our neighborhood, within our team itself, but also with the suppliers that we get our product from.
Why is it important for your story to have a connection with the dairy products you sell?
We've always put a large focus on knowing where our product comes from. So being able to visit the farms of some of the products that we get our supplies from and having that transparency of knowing how they operate, being able to see how the animals are cared for is really important to us.
So, Michael, your registered Holsteins are important to businesses like Darcy's, and your lineage goes back decades. Talk about why that's important for the story and your relationship with shop owners.
I think, like so many Holstein breeders, we're animal lovers first, and Darcy's an animal lover. We connect on that, and she's been with us from the beginning, and she's been to the farm several times, and it's a great day when people like Darcy come to visit and learn more about our farming operation, our family operation that's been in existence for over that 100 years, and the fact that we're trying to do things today the same way we always have, and that's putting the animals' care first and foremost in our daily activities. That shows up in the quality of the products that we bring through the door here, and Darcy makes magic happen with every day.
So, Darcy, I love your story. Tell me about the great products you have here that include dairy.
Well, as a coffee shop, we really focus on highest quality coffee and everything that goes along with a coffee shop, like great quality milk. So all of our lattes are made with Rolling Lawns whole dairy. We also use their half and half, and also heavy cream for a few different items. We have soups on the menu that use the heavy cream. We also have baked goods, particularly a vanilla cream croissant. It's really, really good.
Michael, a lot of other dairy farmers don't really get to see their products being showcased in the way Darcy does hers. What does it feel like to be able to walk into a shop like this and see it happen?
It's one of the greatest benefits and joy that we get bottling our own product, is to have a relationship with someone like Darcy and to see her creativity and to see the care they put in and the quality. Consumers are demanding, and they respond to great products, and to know that we're one of the ingredients in her kitchen means everything to us.
Darcy, thanks so much for having us, and best of luck in your endeavors. And boy, what a great business you have here.
Thank you.
Now that was a good cup of coffee. Thanks for showing me around, Michael.
You're welcome.
All right, let's take a look now at another leading registered Holstein dairy.
I'm Justin Stewart with Arizona Dairy Company. We're in Mesa, Arizona. The dairy actually started in 1973 with my father-in-law and his brother. They were farmers back in post-World War II, and they were farming here in Mesa and in Gilbert and selling all their commodities to dairymen. Well, back in the early 70s, they decided, you know, we might as well sell the commodities to ourselves. So they formed Arizona Dairy Company in 1973. And then in about 1983, about 10 years later, they doubled the size of Arizona Dairy and built the south half. So at that time, we went up to milking about 5,000 cows. I was actually in the military for about 10 years in the Navy. And when we decided to get out of the Navy and come home to Arizona, there was an opportunity. And the opportunity was to get to know the farm and get to know the dairy and get to know my father-in-law and what he was about and work with him. So it was really all on-the-job training every single day, sun up to sundown. One of the most rewarding parts is to see the teams working together. This is a large dairy, milking 6,500 cows 3 times a day. So to get that to feel like it's one unit and everyone working together, that takes a pretty good coach. I felt like if we could get each department and treat it as a team, and to see those teams work together for the common goal of making high quality milk, to me, that's success. We're the only dairy in the state of Arizona that has its own on-site in vitro fertilization lab where we run all of our elite genetics. For our herd, we take the top 5 to 10% of our animals based on TPI, net merit, udder composite, feet and legs, and take those very best composites and say, hey, they must be the very best. That's one of our tools that we use with genetics, and let's make more of her. Through classification and through Holstein and making that schedule and sticking to that 3 times a year or more, that's what benefits us going forward to have better cows. How can you have a better cow if you don't even identify them? Our version of the perfect cow is a cow that lasts a long time, that is extremely low inputs. She's the quiet cow, that silent cow. She doesn't require a lot of attention, but yet she breeds back every single year. She makes it to the milk parlor day in and day out, 3 times a day. She produces that high quality butter, fat, and protein, and the high volumes that Holsteins are known for. Last year was a really good year in the sense that we had some of our highest milk peaks in our fresh cow pen and our breeding cow pen and our young heifer pens, higher than we've ever seen. We had some peaks around 95 pounds with a 3.6 butter fat, 3.7 butter fat, 3.8 butter fat, and to get an average of 3.4, 3.5 protein out of those cows, I could see the change happening little by little, and to breed better cows and to eventually see that in the bulk tank when you're shipping 50, 60,000 gallons out of the farm a day. It takes a long time to make a difference and to make a change, and little by little, when you see the individual cow's performance increase and then start to move the needle in the bulk tank, It really is helpful. And then to have those cows breed back right away and come into their second lactation and then their third lactation, and you see the performance staying or getting better, that's what makes a difference. It pays to have really good genetics. Yes. When you get heavily involved in raising these calves, there becomes a bond and an attachment. And the girls and the kids, they just love to show that off and love to compete and take our animals to see out to the shows and to see how well they compare to everything else. Having the grandchildren be out there on the road and showing has introduced them to a massive amount of people. And really that's what it's all about, is the relationships. It's a lot of fun for me and my family to walk our 2-year-old pens and say, wow, this looks a lot different than it did 10 years ago. It takes a long time, a really long time to make these animals. And so that's the goal, is to make the very best cow that we can for us in Arizona.
When we return, we visit an Italian restaurant with the most incredible Alfredo sauce made with cream from, you guessed it, Rolling Lawns Farms registered Holsteins.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Holstein Association USA's Tag ID program provides a simple, efficient, and cost-effective solution for permanently identifying your animals. Holstein's All-Flex tags are tamper-proof, fade-resistant, and customizable. That's right, ear tags can be printed with custom information for your farm or individual animals. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us to place your order.
What if you could predict her genetic potential right from the start? With genomic testing, you can. Holstein Association USA offers a variety of genetic testing options, including clarified genomic tests. Add them to your package of genetic tools, from registration and tags to classification, mating, and genomic testing. Holstein Association USA has your herd covered. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more or contact us today. Holstein America is brought to you by our friends at Merck Animal Health, the makers of Nasalgen and a leading provider of dairy care solutions. Visit mahcattle.com for support, tips, and products to provide your herd the best possible care.
Welcome back to Holstein America. America is a melting pot of people from around the world, and nowhere is this truer than the Hill in St. Louis, one of America's most prominent Italian heritage neighborhoods, and home to a successful dairy-to-consumer endeavor.
Antonino's Taverna is an Italian and Greek restaurant that resides among the houses and sidewalks in St. Louis. It's a true neighborhood establishment, but its reputation is widely known. The restaurant was recently voted the city's top Italian restaurant.
Hey guys,
Hello.
Anthony,
How are you?
Rosario.
Hey Mike, how you doing?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Want you to meet Bob Cervera.
Bob, nice to meet you, Bob.
Rosario.
I'm Anthony.
Anthony.
Great to meet you.
Good to meet you guys too.
Yeah.
You have a pretty popular restaurant here in St. Louis. How'd you get the idea to marry Italian with Greek?
Well, our father is Italian and our mother's Greek, and they both came over here. Their families came over, and so we grew up eating the big pasta meals.
Best of both worlds,
Best
yeah.
of both worlds kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And so, we said it'd be a great restaurant concept. So let's try it.
Yeah, it was unique. There isn't too many places that have those two cuisines married, and we're growing up eating and celebrating all the holidays together. Made it work.
Yeah. So can we sample some of
Of course,
what makes
of
your
course.
restaurant so popular?
Yeah.
This is our tortellini.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Fantastic.
Try that out. This is
Beef
our cheese pesto ravioli,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
all house-made
yeah.
pasta.
Yep, and of course the
To
cream.
the Mari.
Yep.
Okay, and this is your famous Alfredo sauce.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
It's made by registered Holsteins from Rolling Lawns
That's
Farm.
correct. Of course, that comes in the fold. Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Yes, very decadent, very rich and silky.
Boy,
good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Michael, I know you've eaten here many times. What's it like to taste the cream that brought this restaurant to #1 from your farm?
When you're alone on the farm, you aspire to quality, but you really don't know what the bar really is until you meet guys like this and you see what they're doing and the type of restaurant they're running and the quality that they're looking for. And to be able to be in their kitchen is an amazing honor.
Guys, I read on your menu ahead of time before I came here that you proudly display the fact that your cream comes from Rolling Lawns Farm. Why is that important to have your customers connect with that?
Well, we want to bring the best ingredients possible to our customers, and so we seek out, the very best. And then for the cream, we found Mike, and it was a great marriage, And
great partnership, and people even tell me, they say, boy, that cream sauce is just so good, so rich, so
and unique.
Incredible,
it's very unique.
I tell them about Mike in the farm, and I say, they're out there, they sing to the cows, and they rub their bellies, and they all get a kick out of it. But it really, in the truth, that's kind of pretty true. It's a lot of hard work and to take care of those animals, and we get a great product out of the deal. So
#1, yeah.
Alfredo is one of those omnipresent sauces that Italian restaurants are known for, but to be part of their Alfredo, it's truly the secret sauce. And inevitably, I will get text messages from diners that know who we are and know me, and they will send a photo of the menu with the Rolling Lawns name listed. It doesn't get any better than that.
That's got to be good to see.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. And to Mike's point, every restaurant in the United States has an Alfredo. If it's an Italian-American restaurant, and I've had a lot of them, and they pale in comparison to ours because I think we got the best cream. So we're happy with that.
Michael, Anthonino's has been part of your story for a long time.
Anthony contacted me before we were ready to bottle heavy cream. They've been with us from the beginning, and the relationship component of this makes the efforts all worth it, and it never gets old. We love being here with these guys.
And it absolutely spells success.
Yes, 100%, yeah.
Yes. Guys, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
glad to be here. All right, let's hear more stories now from registered Holstein breeders.
Today, our farm consists of milking 3,000 cows, registered Holsteins. We farm on 2 locations. One is located in Tulare, California, where we farm about 600 acres. And then our other locations down here in Pixley, where we farm about 760 acres. And the future plan of building a newer, more innovative facility that would be more protective to the environment and helping us be sustainable long-term, take better care of our cows, create an easier work environment for our employees. And then we've been able to add some sustainability to this new facility by plugging in a solar facility that provides about 70% of our electrical needs. And then about 5 years ago, we were the first dairy in California to go on the grid with selling methane. One of the things that's been really important to myself and all the other farmers that dairy around in our area here is that we're really trying to figure out ways to be more protective of the environment, more water conservative, and just adopting technology when it's ready to be adopted that'll make us better, more efficient, but also protect the environment. So it's something we're pretty proud of. We've always tried to be somewhat innovative, but making sure that our facility is definitely in the forefront of protecting the environment and doing the right thing. The population of Holsteins in the United States really creates a huge opportunity for you to breed any different kind of cow you want. Whether it's high health traits, high type, high production, high components. Those are all things that we kind of strive for. Like many other breeders, we want it all. And so really early on, I think one of the things that instilled my dad was, when we started buying registered cattle in about their late 60s, that was about when I started 4-H. And so we started showing some cows, and so that generated more interest to make a better cow and to breed a cow that not only was super productive, but also when you looked at her, you really liked what you were looking at, cow that had nice balance. And I think Holstein, one of the things that I think that they probably don't get enough credit for is the type consistency of the Holstein breed is by far the best of any breed. And I think that is a relationship to their classification program and the ability for breeders to make choices that give them the consistency of having good cows one generation after another, after another, and after another. And I think that is the one area where the Holstein breed just excels the rest by far. It's not even close. And then when you look at production, the Holstein cow is by far the most prolific milk producer on the planet. I think the Holstein Association is, it's us. It really is. It's all the breeders in this country who wake up every morning and want to make a really good cow or love just going out there and producing milk. In my opinion, the greatest product on the planet when you consider the nutritional value it possesses and what you're paying for it. It's kind of stands alone, really. If you're going to do everything right, the first thing you do is you make your cow better. That's the first step. You take a cow that's super efficient, can produce a lot of milk, it equivalates over to what you're trying to do with the environment. You're trying to do more with less. And I will say this, I think the U.S. dairy industry is probably one of the most efficient industries in agriculture, probably in the world. And I feel like our particular area here, Tulare County, which is the #1 dairy county, is right there on the top of the list. And I've had a chance to travel to different countries, and they put our dairy industry and our genetics, on the top of the list, And so that's something that kind of makes you proud.
When we return, we hear how consumers are rediscovering great tasting dairy products produced by U.S. registered Holsteins.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Do you need better control over your barn environment? Talk to the curtain professionals at Shady Lane Curtains. Our patented Clearview curtains feature clear PVC windows, allowing more light in your barn. Curtains are custom made for your barn with complete hardware. We also offer installation service in the Northeast region. Learn more at ShadyLaneCurtains.com or call 1-800-270-2983.
Have you heard? You can purchase Holstein semen directly from breeders through Holstein Marketplace Sires. Featuring member farmers like you, Holstein Marketplace Sires is your destination for purchasing or marketing elite registered Holstein genetics. Solid production, deep pedigrees, high type. The bulls you've been looking for are at Holstein Marketplace Sires. Purchasing is easy. Order online or over the phone, and semen will be shipped directly to you. Holstein Marketplace Sires. Bulls by breeders, for breeders.
Holstein America is brought to you by our friends at Merck Animal Health. the makers of Nasal Gin and a leading provider of dairy care solutions. Visit mahcattle.com for support, tips, and products to provide your herd the best possible care.
Welcome back. COVID-19 has changed how many of us look at the world and how everything is interconnected. In this segment, Pennsylvania Secretary of Agriculture Russell Redding shares his thoughts on how consumer perceptions have changed over the last 2 years. Miles Ramsey has the story.
If there's one silver lining to COVID-19's many challenges, it's this. Consumers have rediscovered dairy. That's according to Pennsylvania Secretary of Agriculture Russell Redding.
The rediscovery of food, and particularly dairy products that came out of the pandemic, is that people have really looked around and said, well, where did this come from? Who produced it? And that's a wonderful story for agriculture generally, but particularly here in Pennsylvania, where you've got 50 million people in the neighborhood, and that is our market and our reach, so great opportunity.
Pennsylvania is among the top 10 dairy-producing states in the country, with a wide range of herd sizes and operations. Redding says he's encouraged by how the industry has responded to recent adversity.
Dairy, has proven to be amazingly resilient. When you're in the food system and the food system is turned upside down, there are going to be repercussions to that. It's diversified, it's challenged for sure, but I still believe it's one of the great bright spots of our future.
The consumer's awareness level about their food is at an all-time high, Redding says, which offers new opportunities for dairy producers.
What has also changed is the expectation of engagement with those producers. And that's something we've got to continually work at. It has changed in the marketing side, the number of producers who are looking at direct marketing. I think that's an opportunity for Pennsylvania, particularly with our smaller herds. It's where we can diversify further.
With the general public eager to learn more about how their food is produced, there is a unique opportunity for animals with official registered Holstein pedigrees, cows with a documented story to tell.
And I think there's value in that documentation, that verification, that authenticity that comes from genetic stock, and just it gets you a record of not just the sire and dam and the history, but also gives you some comfort that inside of all that documentation is an awareness level about the animal care, but also the connections that animal makes, and the industry makes to the larger community.
For Holstein America, I'm Miles Ramsey.
Hi, good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
Thanks for coming by.
Glad to be here. I want you to meet Bob Cervera.
Hi, I'm Kaylin. Nice to meet you.
It's great to meet you.
Thanks for coming by.
I understand you have a long relationship with Michael. That's what he tells me. So tell me about your business and how things started with him.
Yeah, I believe we started working together maybe in 2016. Started out just buying gallons of whole milk here and there for the bakery. But once Poptimism got off the ground, we started buying a lot more dairy than just a couple of gallons of milk here and there. So he's probably our top supplier.
Tell me about your dairy flavors.
Yeah, so here at this location at City Foundry, we do have different flavors every month. And the flavors that we have this month, one's a little controversial. We have a Provel popsicle. I don't know if you're familiar with Provel cheese. It's a St. Louis delicacy, as we like to say. So we have that. We have a Biscoff flavor, which is cookie butter. It's so good. They're all fantastic, mostly because of all the love that goes into the Rolling Lawns products.
Yeah. Michael, Kaylin is demonstrating how creativity really helps the dairy industry. And when you get creative, that's when dairy farmers like you can really create opportunities.
Consumers respond to creativity, and food professionals like Kaylin bring all that creativity and the culture-driven approach to food that we just ride our coattails on. It's fun to be part of it. We make the milk, she makes the magic.
Yeah, and you have to get creative too.
We have high standards to adhere to now, and she sets the bar high, and we try and reach it every day.
Okay, Kaylin, I'm so looking forward to trying one of your popsicles.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to try one too. It'll be fun.
Michael, that was quite a dairy treat. Thanks for showing me around Poptimism.
You're welcome, Bob.
All right, Holstein America will be back after this informational segment from Merck Animal Health.
There has been a lot of research in the past 20 years focusing on dry cow management. really focusing on the dry period is going to pay big dividends for our producers. First of all, we have to think about stockmanship. So making sure that we're handling these cows correctly with low stress level, it's going to help the overall health of these cows and not impacting their dry matter intake, for example. We have to have a clean and dry place for these cows to lay down so we can try to reduce bacteria exposure to the teat end. Mastitis is going to be one area of focus regardless if it's the dry period or the lactating period. We have to think a dry off. We need to keep in mind that we're going to have dry cow therapy, if it's going to be a blanket dry cow therapy or selective dry cow therapy. We have to think about teat sealants. That's going to also minimize the risk of intramammary infections. So another important aspect to consider when we're managing our dry cows is the timing that we're going to be conducting some of our practices. Usually we rely on days carrying calf or days of gestation. But the reality is we're going to have variation in gestation length of our dairy cows. So it's important for us to look at our herd, what's the actual gestation length. So when we're building our vaccination programs, we're going to be giving vaccine at the right timing, producing antibodies that are going to be present in the colostrum, so we can provide the best protection for the baby calf. And we have to keep in mind that for us to have a healthy calf, we have to have a healthy cow. So if we put a large focus in our dry period, using a good vaccination program, having good results with our dry cow therapy, using a teat sealant, it should result in healthier cows and increase reproductive efficiency, because health is not going to be jeopardizing reproductive performance of these cows by the time that we're going to be breeding them.
Welcome back. This is a registration paper from Holstein Association USA. As consumers become more interested in where food comes from, there's no more powerful document than this, because it tells you everything to know about a cow and her family tree. Bob Cervera has more.
Michael, through your tour, I've learned that Barb here is one of your most important cows.
She's part of the first cow family at Rolling Lawns, generation 26, and there's soon to be 4 generations behind her right here on the farm, so she provides a great story to tell.
Yeah, and I know she's got a sister back in the barn too, who I met.
Yes.
Okay, so how does Registered Holsteins help you produce more cows just like Barb?
The association offers so much from a continuous improvement standpoint, from the identification and the registration to the genetic advancement tools, the classification that we participate in every 7 months. It helps us chart every cow family and every individual and identify those areas of opportunity and for improvement from a genetic standpoint. Without the association, we're not getting better.
Michael, thanks so much for the tour, and Barb, thanks for being such a big part of the Rolling Lawns farm story. Farming is the foundation of America, and a dairy in Georgia showcases well how farming and faith go hand in hand.
I'm here today because of the opportunity that my dad gave me to be a part of Donison Dairy. My grandparents bought this place. It adjoins the original home place where it all started 4 generations ago. When they moved here, they began working with registered cattle, registered Holsteins. My dad joined in '74. My uncle later joined the partnership. And in '98, my dad offered me 1/3 of the partnership to stay here and farm with him. Being a grazing operation where cows are out on pasture all day, during the summer it's, make hay when the sun's shining, and Of course, when my great-grandfather started, it was milking in a flat barn and a stanchion barn, and they were toting milk to town in 10-gallon cans. And so the Holstein was definitely the cow that could put the most milk in the tank or in the cans, either way you want to look at it. My grandfather, when he brought the farm to our current location, they really got into improving genetics and enjoyed showing and continue to work along those lines. A lot of times we look at value as a dollar amount. Why that's important. It's the value of the registered Holsteins. For me, it's been more than a dollar bill. It's been about the relationships. It's been about the people. So the paper has increased value to my cows, but it's also given value to me and to my family and to the friendships that we've made. It's not just the marketing side of it, where people know what they're getting on that paper, but really the value of friendships that we created through the black and white cow. In January, I was actually on part of the farm, and God had kind of stirred in my heart again that, you know, I want you to do more than milk cows, and went on and pastored a small church out in the country. When God called me back closer to home to Calvary Baptist Church, that's where me and my family have been currently serving. We average around 85 people on Sunday morning worship. Just a really good group of people that love the Lord and enjoy one another's friendship and fellowship, and God's been doing some amazing things there for us. I think a lot of it's been about being there for people in times of their life when it seems like the world is crumbling. And so I've enjoyed my time to be able to help people grow. We benefit because people show up. You don't call, you don't ask, they show up. That's part of who we are as Holstein breeders, as dairymen, and that's one of the benefits that you get is when you need something, people know you need it and show up at the right time. I really believe that the Holstein Association is going to continue to help dairymen thrive in the future just through the data collected from years of great breeders before me and making not only the Holstein cow the world's most perfect cow, but through that data and through those genetics, I believe that the association is preparing us well for the future and what lies ahead.
Holstein America is the only nationally televised program about the U.S. dairy industry. And we're proud to say we've reached millions of people around the world with this important story. Thanks again to Michael Turley and Rolling Lawns Farm for sharing the family's rich history and heritage with U.S. registered Holsteins. As you've seen, the dairy industry is grounded, it's diverse, and so important during uncertain times. So take a few minutes today to celebrate the registered Holstein cow with your favorite dairy product, like a hot cup of coffee with cream or a cold glass of milk. It'll do your body good. Visit HolsteinUSA.com to learn more. On behalf of America's registered Holstein breeders, thanks for watching Holstein America. I'm Michelle Davidson.